Look at these three charming ladies. Can your intuition tell you which lady is the wife of this man? Is it Lady X, Lady Y, or Lady Z? Play your hunch. And welcome everybody to Play Your Hunch, a game of intuition. Here's your host, Merv Griffin.
I want to hear it again. Well, it's the old piano roll blues. Well, I'm sitting at an upright, my sweetie and me, just a-pushing on the pedals, making sweet harmony. When we hear rinkety-dink, plingety-pling, we cuddle closer it seems. And when we kiss, 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 away all our cares, the player, pianist player, rise from the dance. I want to hear it again, the old piano roll blues. Thank you. Gentlemen, that's the XYZ band. We're the young, happy fellas, and we're proud to join you. You can imagine how much we're all just busting with pride tonight. The first nighttime show of Play Your Hunch, and we hope you'll enjoy it. For those of you that might not have seen it before, and we hope there aren't too many, we present a series of problems that our panel has to solve. Now, let me introduce to you, first of all, the panel over here, and then we'll tell you how we score the game. First of all, from Jacksonville, North Carolina, Lieutenant and Mrs. Hugh M. Lovejoy. Mrs. Lovejoy, welcome. Lieutenant, nice to have you here. And from Orchard Park, New York, their opponents, Mr. Thomas Danforth and daughter Carolyn. Carolyn? Now, here's how we score the show. Every time you play a hunch correctly, you get a point. Each point is worth $100. 3 points wins the game for a total of $300, plus the right to stay on and compete against the next team. So as long as you keep on winning, you keep on playing your hunch. Are you all set?
Yeah.
All right, it's up to you, Mr. and Miss Danforth. The song you're hearing right now is the old piano roll blues, and our first problem has to do with the year this song was first introduced. Play or pass, Danforth?
Do you know
I
this?
think we'll play.
I think we'll play.
You'll play?
Play.
May we have the rest of the problem, please? There's Miss X. There's Miss Y. And here's Miss Z. Now, each of these ensembles was in fashion in a different year. One of them was in fashion the very same year that the song Old Piano Roll Blues was first introduced. And that's the ensemble we're looking for, the one that they were wearing the same year this song was introduced. Now, you listen to the band as they finish the song. See if you can associate the song with the ensemble we're looking for. Are you ready? Men, here we go. Into position. 1, 2, 3, 4. There they go, and they shall return. All right. Now that you have a chance to look them over, Tell me, if you will, which of these three ensembles was in fashion the same year Piano Roll Blues was first introduced? Is it the one worn by Miss X? Miss Y? Or Miss C? Miss Danforth, what do you say? What's your decision?
I think it's Z.
What do you say, Mr. Danforth?
Well, I think it's Y.
The Danforths must agree quickly.
Really? I
It's
think
just plain
I think
white.
Z is a little old.
Why?
The dress.
What do you say?
Y.
Why?
We'll
You
both say Y.
The Danforths have agreed on Y. You have a piano roll. That was the year everybody was singing Margie. What year was that, madame?
1920.
1920. So far, we've stumped you. X and Z is remaining. What do you say, Ms. Lovejoy?
I say X.
What do you say, Lieutenant?
I agree.
They agree on X. Unfold that piano roll. The year they were singing the September song, the year was
38.
1938. We stumped you, I suspect. Ms. Z, the old piano roll blues. Now, this is a big surprise. Tell me the year.
1950.
1950. We have stumped you. Thank you, ladies, very much. Good evening. That's the way to start the show. Nobody scored on the first problem. Now, Player Hunch continues in just a minute, but first, this preview of things to come. Watch. With a big score of 0-0, let's see how you do with this one. Are you ready? All right.
Ready.
Everything
Ready.
set backstage? May we have our next problem, please? 3 large boxes, X, Y, and Z. Well, this looks interesting. Let me go see what's in here. Here's Tad Tadlock, my assistant. Tad, would you help me? Somebody in there? A jack-in-the-box. Well, that's interesting. Let's see what's in box Y. Another jack-in-the-box. Let's see if anything's in box C. Another one. Well, there are 3 little happy jacks in the box. What do you say on this problem, Lieutenant and Mrs. Lovejoy? Play or pass?
I think we'll play.
2 of these children are standing alone in their boxes. One of them is sharing the box with his or her identical twin who's hiding in there right now. We, of course, are looking for the box with the identical twins. First, we're going to give you a clue by playing a little game here called Up and Down. Now, when I give the signal, each child will duck down into the box, then pop up again. We'll repeat this several times so you get a close look, because the identical twin will be taking turns popping up and down in the box. Children, are you ready? Do it good now. Ready? Down. Up. Is it Miss X? Down. Up. Up. Is it Mr. Y? Down. Up. Okay. Let's play the game fair and square here, gang. Ready? Is it Miss Z? Down. Down. Up. Well, I'm as confused as you are. There they are. Tell me, if you will, Ms. Lovejoy, which one of these boxes contains a set of identical twins?
I'll say Y.
Mr. or Lieutenant Lovejoy?
I'll say Z.
You must agree, of course.
Okay, Z.
You're going along with the husband's intuition. Let's see if there is anybody else in here. Yes, there is, and you score the first part of the evening show. Good for you. Mr. Y, is anybody in here with you? No. How about you, Ms. X? Anybody in here with you? No? All by your lonesome? Then come on out and talk to me here. Tad, you want to get those boxes, and let's find out who these kids are. What's your name?
Jill Boker.
They call you Blondie?
No, they call me Red.
I kind of suspected that. Red hair and... Those are measles?
No.
What are those?
Blue eyes.
No, I wasn't pointing to your eyes. These little spots.
freckles.
Oh, that's what those are. Where do you get freckles from?
The sun.
Really? You mean if I were to walk out in the sun, freckles would pop out?
Well, sort of.
Sort of. Well, I'm going to try it. What's your name?
Jill Boker.
From where, Jill?
Tenafly, New Jersey.
Is that a good town?
Yes.
Thank you. Who are you, my friend?
My name is Richard Edward Mott.
That's a big name. Is that the way you sign your checks?
No,
No. How do you sign them?
I don't sign checks.
Ah. Where you from?
Roosevelt, New York, Long Island, Roosevelt Street, 33.
Oh. That's where we can contact you, in other words.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Was it fun working with all these ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to have you here. What's your name?
Valerie
Valerie what?
Miller.
And your name?
Melanie Miller.
Well, you both have the same last name.
Yes. Relatives.
Oh, you know that? They're sisters? Are you really sisters?
Yes.
Oh, they wouldn't be twins. I'm getting help from the back here. How old are you?
6. 6.
You're the same age? Which one is older?
I am.
How long?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. That makes you the boss. Thank you so much. We have gifts for you, dolls, and for our young man here, an erector set, and our best wishes. Thank you so much for being on Play Your Hunt. Good luck to you, my friend. Bye-bye. Storm? You can't miss with them. Scores 1-0 in favor of the Lovejoys. Now, of course, our challengers, the young children, get a cash prize for appearing on Play Your Hunch. Should they fool our contestants, they would get the $100 as a bonus. They didn't fool you, however. Let's see how you do with this next problem, please. May we have that problem? Here is a hunter. Come in, Hunter. Our own Johnny Olson, Squire Olson, ready for the fox hunt. This, of course, is a come closer problem. We've provided you with slates and with chalk. Now, this is where we play both teams at the same time. The team that comes closer to the correct answer, of course, wins. What are you going to do, John?
It's a bully night for hunting, Merv.
Oh, then let us hunt. Right. Sound the horn. And bring on the dogs. There they come. Good heavens. Here. Come on, gang. All right. Out. No. He should have been in Alaska. The brandy's back there, pal. That's it. All right. You have 10 seconds from right now to tell me how many dogs you saw parade in front of you. How many dogs? 10 seconds. Go. All right, the bell has sounded. When I give the signal, both of you hold your slates to the camera across from you. Hold them up, please. The Lovejoys say you saw 27 dogs, and the Danforths say 26. Johnny Olson. Johnny Olson. He's missing, huh? Oh, I got scared for a minute, John. Sick, yes. He's doing fine, but get the other one out. There are exactly in this pack 29 dogs. The Lovejoys came closer. They get the point. Thank you, John. We'll have more problems for you to work on right after this message.
This is the ultimate indoor RC helicopter. Introducing Reflex from order.
Well, the name of the show is Play Your Hunch. The score stands at 2-0 in favor of Lieutenant and Mrs. Lovejoy. Let me see how you do with this one. It's time now to meet our special guest, a gentleman who has distinguished himself in many, many ways. A delightful man. Recently made a record here, an album for Verve Records, and it's appropriately titled The Wonderful World of Jonathan Winters. It must be a wonderful world because he's that kind of guy. Jonathan Winters, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest. Hey, Johnny. Author, bravo. Johnny, how nice to see you. You're a recording artist.
Well, this is the first one. I'm working on a second one already. I don't know why we haven't sold enough of these yet.
Yeah. Rock and roll song?
No.
No.
I'm going to do a song in this second one. I'm gunning for it, you know.
What kind of songs do you sing, John?
Well, I wrote this thing. It's called Chains, and it's different, you know. Lieutenant, you know, you're familiar with Chains.
That is Lieutenant and Mrs. Lovejoy.
Listen, I was a Marine, you know. I was a corporal. I tried getting a lieutenant. That's as close as I could get, Lieutenant. It was 2 stripes, and it was on the last day. They said, stay in, it's a teaser campaign.
Mr. Danforth and Carolyn
How do you
Danforth. Winters here. How nice to see you, Johnny.
Good to see you, buddy.
Especially joining us on our debut
This
here.
is great.
Yeah, isn't it exciting?
All that money.
Yeah.
Guys.
Where?
Well, you get paid right after the show, don't you?
Oh, I didn't ask anybody.
I check on that. I
Yeah.
check on that. They used to pay me off in old fruit.
Anything in particular?
Tired tangerine. The important thing is that you get something.
Right. You know that Jonathan has brought us a problem that has to do with his family. Play or pass on this problem, Danforth family.
Do you think we'd better play this one?
We'll play.
We'll
They
play.
definitely decided to play. Would Jonathan Winters' problem please come in? There's the song. Right to your marks, ladies. One of these charming ladies happens to be Mrs. Jonathan Winters. The other 2 ladies have never met our guest in person until this evening. We, of course, are looking for Jonathan's missus. But first, to make it a little easier for you, Jonathan's going to go over. Each one of these young ladies is going to say a little bit about what it's like to be the wife of Jonathan Winters. You see by that clue if you can tell me which one actually is Mrs. Jonathan Winters. You want to take the microphone with you there, Johnny?
All right, Uncle Merv.
And we'll start here with
Hi, honey.
Miss X.
Guys, what's it like to live with Jonathan Winters?
Well, can I say anything?
Anything, honey. We're going to get letters anyway.
Well, Johnny isn't at all like he is in public at home. He's very quiet. In fact, I'm the more talkative of the 2.
That's true, dear.
Henpecked. Not really. And he has quite a few hobbies, and right now, he's gone through a million of them, but right now his favorite is making metal objects out of wire coat hangers. He straightens them out, and right now he's made fish for our living room. They're on either side of the mirror. And he made a chest of drawers for our child's room, for our son's room. Nothing for the baby girl yet, but he'll get to it sooner or later.
I'm working on a little tiny electric chair. Carol.
Step backwards, please. On to Mrs. Y, Johnny.
Hello there.
Well,
Careful. Don't touch me unless you love me.
Oh, I do.
Tell us about Jonathan.
Well, Jonathan is very much the same at home as he is on television. He's a lot of fun. We have lots of gay times together.
Oh,
He has a little room up on the 3rd floor that he spends a
Little
great deal of
cage.
time in, and we call it the Owl's Nest. And he's up there usually typing or writing and reading, and now he's been painting, and he's even sold some of them, and we're very happy about that.
yes.
Thank you, Miss
Thank
Y.
you. Thank you.
Miss Z?
Hi. You must be Tiny Tim.
Well, it's nice being married to you, and I don't think too many people know that you're a very intellectual sort of person. He reads a lot of books. We have over 3,000 books in our library, don't
I
we?
read a lot of funny books, Lieutenant. That's another reason I made corporal.
He's, I call him a bookworm.
Yes,
He's
it's true.
a worm.
Nice call. Sounds like home.
One other thing, he likes to come out in the kitchen and take over when I'm all finished and whip up good Italian food like lasagna.
You got a little linguine,
Yes.
clam sauce.
That's right. But one thing he doesn't do, he never does the dishes.
That's why we've got to
That's
get
my
paper
job.
plates, honey.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you, Miss Z.
I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Would all of you ladies return to your marks? Johnny, come on back here with me. What do you say, Carolyn? Which one of these ladies is the real Mrs. Jonathan Winters? What do you say?
I think it's right.
What do you say, Mr.
I
Danforth?
think it's wide, too.
Well, let me go over and ask them. Excuse me, Johnny. Both of them have agreed on you, Ms. Y. Were you telling the truth about your husband?
Yes,
Are you the wife of Jonathan Winters?
yes.
Yes, she is, and you still her. How nice to see you. No, we didn't fool him, but we sure did a good job trying. Miss Winters, why don't you join Johnny and let me introduce the 2 ladies who are playing the part here. You are?
Pat O'Hanlon,
From?
Bronx, New York.
And your occupation?
I'm Mrs. New York City of this year.
How nice to welcome you here.
Thank you so much.
And you're pretty. Pretty representative. Thank you. Ma'am, you are?
I'm Claire Dunnigan from Syosset, Long Island,
Housewife?
housewife and mother of 2 lovely children.
That's very nice. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. Well, what a pleasure to welcome the Winters family to television. Is this your first appearance, Ms. Winters?
Second.
Second? Ah. Do you have children?
Yes, we have 2.
And you live in Upper State, I think, don't you?
Mamaroneck.
Mamaroneck. Johnny, it's very nice of you to bring Ms. Winters on here.
listen. We really enjoyed it.
Well, we did, too,
Adam.
especially on our first
I
show.
want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank
Very
you,
much.
Johnny, very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Goodbye. Thanks for your family. Jonathan Winters and wife. Well, now you're on the board with a score there, my friends. 2-1 in favor of the Lovejoys. We'll be right back. First out, time for an informative interlude. Score, my friends, 2-1 in favor of Lieutenant and Mrs. Lovejoy. Let's see how you do with this problem. May we have our next problem, please? For our next problem, once again, we roll out our XYZ band here. Group of fine young men. Age average, I'd say, around 25. We're very proud of them. Probably the youngest band here on television. These are the fine musicians you saw and heard at the beginning of our show. Notice now, if you will, we've placed some XYZ cards around. Mr. X holds a saxophone. Mr. Y holds a trombone. Mr. Z holds a trumpet. Play or pass on this problem that concerns one of these musicians. It's up to you, Lovejoys.
Let's play.
We'll play her.
We've been fooling you because one of these 3 men has been sitting in with the band all during our entire show, but he hasn't played one solitary note on his instrument because he is not a musician. He's been sitting there pretending to be playing on his horn. The truth of the matter is this man isn't a musician. He works at a completely different job. Now, fellas, sit down. We're going to reprise a little bit of old piano roll blues for you. Then you tell me which one of these fellas doesn't know how to play the instrument he holds. Are you ready, fellas? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Yeah! What do you say, Mrs. Lovejoy? Which one of these fellas cannot play the instrument he holds? Is it X, the saxophonist? Is it Y, the trombonist? Is it Mr. Z, the trumpeter? Stand up there, fellas. What do you say?
Merv, I'll say why.
You say the trombonist? What do you say, Lieutenant? You agree? All right, my friends, the audience isn't sure of this. If that's the fellow we're looking for, then you win Play Your Hunch. Mr. Y, they have selected you. Would you play a solo with the rhythm going along here? Go right ahead, sir. That's the fellow we're looking for. You win Play Your Hunch. Congratulations, Lieutenant and Mrs. Lovejoy. Your name, young man?
Henry Winnick
From where, Henry?
from Bronx, New York.
What's your occupation?
I'm a plumber.
A plumber. You got a nice plunger there, I might add. As a special added bonus, we'd like you to go back and sit in with us, fellas. You've enjoyed it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you look awful good up there.
I like to play with Ray back there.
Oh, yeah? Well, I wish you could play because we'd ask you to join. Thank you so much for being here. Well, goodbye to you, Carol and Danforth. Of course, you're taking $100 home with you, and our thanks for being so nice. We'll see you next week, Lieutenant and Ms. Lovejoy. Incidentally, our musical arranger and director is Bob Mercy. Now, we'll see you in 2 weeks on April 29th when we'll have on the show lovely Hope Hampton wearing a dress worth $1 million. Shall we say goodbye in our own fashion, boys? 1, 2, 2, 2. Let's go, let's go. It's getting late. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait! Wait! Who's got the money? You got the money. No, you got the money.
No, you got the money.
I ain't got the money.
I got the money.
We ain't going nowhere. Who's got the suitcase?
You got the suitcase.
No, you got the suitcase.
No, you got the suitcase.
I ain't got the suitcase.
I got the suitcase.
We ain't going nowhere. Have you got the address?
No.
Directions?
No.
Shave Creek, Bridgetine, gasoline?
No.
Toothpaste?
No.
Hair oil?
No.
We American Airlines home. Who's got the hardware?
You got the road map.
No, you got the road map.
No, you got the road map.
I got the road map.
I got the road map.
We ain't going nowhere. Swing!
Returning contestants flown by TWA Trans World Airlines who fly the Superjet. You fly the finest when you fly TWA, the Superjet airline. Pads dressed by Edward Abbott. Johnny Olson speaking. Good night.
Turn the gas off. We ain't going nowhere. Ain't got the address, ain't got directions, ain't got the road map, ain't got the baby, ain't got the money, ain't got the suitcase. We ain't